Yo, yo.
Yo, what's up, bro?
What's good, my guy?
Oh, nothing much, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to waste no time here. We got a CFP reaction show fresh off the presses. We're going to talk some top 25, what the committee did, and then we'll hop into what happened last weekend and talk about these conference matchups. So my name is Corey Hilliard. The man next to me is Brandon Hill, a.k.a. B. Hill. If this is your first time, me, Casa, Su Casa, but if you've been here before, come on in, get comfortable. Whether you've been here before, if it's your first time, my boy B. Hill got to hit you with the house rules.
You guys know what it is around here. If you're not already, drop down there below this video and go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us if you don't mind. Right next to that, there's just that notification bell that you can do it all in one swipe. Subscribe, notification bell. That way you guys can be up to date on all our newest and latest content. As well, if you like the content, if you like what you're seeing, there's that thumbs up right there. Go ahead and smash that for us as well. Helps with the YouTube algorithm on the platform that we want to get our content out to where more people are going to be able to view us. And last but not least, guys, always drop down there in those comment boxes. We want to hear from y'all. Good, bad, right, wrong, indifferent. You guys already know the drill. You know what time it is. We just want to hear from y'all. So, as Corey was alluding to, it's college football playoff rankings, man. This is going to be an interesting conference championship Saturday. We'll get into that after we react to these rankings. But, I mean, you got Georgia sitting at 1. Michigan's at 2. TCU's 3. And then you got USC at number 4. You got Ohio State right there outside at number 5. And then Alabama at number 6. So,
Yep.
At first glance of this, Corey, if USC and TCU both go down, let's say both of them go down, pretty much that's easy for the committee, right? That's easy. You just go ahead and you slide Alabama and Ohio State right on up there in the 3 and 4 spot, and we just go on about our day. No?
No,
Because here's where I look at it. Then you would have the argument of Clemson winning a weak ACC. I mean, let's be real honest with each other, with ourselves. Yeah. Are you taking Clemson over in Alabama?
You can make the argument because one of the criteria for the CFP is definitely conference championships. Like, that matters in their ranking system and picking. Okay. So they have a leg up there. I mean...
But here's something the committee has to look at, though, in that circumstance. That would have to come down to on the field. Do you really think, overall, that Clemson has a better football team than Alabama? Because let's be real with ourselves. If Alabama was in the ACC, they'd be sitting there at undefeated, number 1 in the nation right now, about to wax whoever is in the conference championship against. Let's just be real. You see what I'm saying? You got
They've
Alabama.
Almost lost 3 games though. They can easily be a 7-5 team.
But they're 10-2 though.
But they're 10-2.
Good teams find ways to win those type of games, and that's SEC competition, Corey. That's not like they were playing against a bunch of chumps. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
They lost 2 games, Corey. To who? They lost 2 games to Tennessee, who was on the uptick at that time. You see what I'm saying? And they lost to LSU. And both of those games, 4 points combined. 4. So, I mean, I've been one on this show. I've been talking about how Alabama isn't the same, everything else, yes. But when you're asking me if both of those, we're talking if TCU and USC both lose, because I think that's what's got to happen. Because in my personal opinion, if USC or TCU and just one of them lose, I think they're just sliding Ohio State in that next slot. I really do. I think that's how it's going to work out. Because I just don't, I don't see Clemson coming from 8 all the way up to 5, all the way up to 4. I'm sorry, I'll let you go.
I agree. I don't see Clemson making that big a leap either. I think them losing by 21 to Notre Dame, and them losing to South Carolina, who's actually ranked 19th right now. So you can say that their losses are worse than Alabama's losses for sure, because Tennessee and where LSU are ranked. So to me, that leaves one thing. If TCU or USC were to lose this weekend, one of the two, then Ohio State can easily slide in, yes. Now, TCU and Ohio State are going to have two things in common. They'll both be one-loss teams without a conference championship. And then they have a serious question on their hand if TCU loses and USC wins. Who has a better resume out of Ohio State and TCU? Some would argue Ohio State because Penn State's going to be ranked right there at 8. They'll have a better win. Any win better, than TCU has. But TCU has a stronger strength of schedule.
They do.
So now you're picking hairs. It is. It's the number one ranked strength of schedule. So those are questions that the committee's going to have to answer. Now, look, if both of them lose, Ohio State gets in. Okay. Now you have a question between TCU, USC, and Alabama. Alabama haven't lost twice. USC would have lost twice to the same team. And then you have TCU with just one loss. It'd be 12-1.
I think it
so
would
a lot of people
how.
are saying, definitely, that's part of it. But a lot of people are already making the argument that if TCU were to lose,
still in,
and they're still in.
I could see that. I really could. I really could see that. I could.
Now, I don't know if the playoff committee's that ballsy enough to do it, because if it's a question between, for me, TCU and Alabama, I think Alabama would beat TCU. I'm just being honest. If we're talking an eye test, that's one of the criteria for the committee is eye test. Just looking at the games, who do you think's better? Like, if TCU and Alabama were to play on a neutral field, who would you pick?
I mean, it's not just a runaway, though. TCU's not a slouch. Quentin Johnson, they got dudes. Don't get it twisted. I mean, but honestly, heart to heart, realistically, I'd have to go Roll Tide on that one, man. I would have to. On a neutral site, Nick Saban? Come on, man. I mean,
that's what I'm thinking.
What Sonny Dykes has done is very impressive. To take this TCU team, because this TCU team at the beginning of the season was nowhere close to this. I can tell you that right now. I don't think anybody predicted this. And if you did, you're a damn lie. That's where I'm at with it. So it's interesting. But you know what I'm hoping for, to be honest with you?
What's that?
USC to stay at number 4 and Georgia to stay at 1.
You want to see that matchup?
Oh, yeah. I want Georgia to bust his freaking you-know-what open.
Who, Lincoln Riley?
I do.
They're going to have the best player on the field. USC's going to have the best player on the field.
Oh, well, USC's had the best player on the field every game this year.
Yeah.
He's the Heisman Trophy winner. Just saying, I think if we're going back to what I was talking about earlier in the season, I think I called that one pretty good. Just saying. Saying, going back to our preseason predictions and everything, I just want to kind of give myself. But I will say, though, I did see, as we're going to lead into these conference championship matchups, man, I want to start with the Pac-12 championship on this one, Corey, because that coach from Utah, man.
That's my preseason pick.
He literally came, and USC was mine. So we pretty much, this is conference championship. It's on the line. You know what I'm saying? You got basically the coach from Utah just basically said, hey, we're not supposed to win. They got Caleb Williams. He's the greatest player in college football. He's going to win the Heisman. USC's already penciled into the playoff. Basically just saying, like, he literally said that in the interview, and I was just like, man, that's pretty cool. Right?
What do you think he's saying in team meetings right now?
I mean, the only loss USC has this year is to Utah. Utah beat them. And that was a healthy USC team. They had Jordan Addison. They had Dye. They had all of those guys. So I know, I mean, Utah.
They're a matchup problem. They're a matchup problem for USC.
Absolutely they are. Absolutely. I mean, USC, they have that guy at quarterback that can overcome those deficiencies that they have all over the rest of the field. Let's just be honest. They don't have a great offensive line. They have great offensive skill players. It's pretty much, if you stop and you think about it, Corey, it's pretty much Oklahoma at USC 2.0.
It really is.
It's really what it is. You know what
just
I'm
with
saying?
lesser skill players.
Absolutely. We had a lot
That's
better
exactly what
offensive
he
line.
was doing. A lot better offensive line. Who was on that O-line? Y'all had Jesus, that whole O-line got drafted.
Oh, you're talking about Orlando Brown. You had
yeah.
Drew Samia. You had Bobby Evans. You had Cody
Who was the center?
Ford, Creed
The center
Humphrey.
was a first round pick.
Creed's the dude right now. He's like one of the best centers in the NFL.
Then you look at the tight end, Mark Andrews.
Right.
You go CeeDee Lamb. You go Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, there was just athletes.
Joe
everywhere.
Mixon, Samaje Perine.
Come on, man.
I mean, man. No, I get it. It was nice, but our defense was nowhere to be found. And that's exactly where I'm at with this USC team. Now, granted, they kind of find ways to make plays, but that was the same thing that Oklahoma used to do in the regular season during conference play. We'd always find ways to do that. I mean, you're going to win the Pac-12, but what's going to happen when you go up against that SEC juggernaut in Georgia? What are you going to do?
Right.
Like, let's just be honest. Because that Georgia defense is going to be good enough to slow down that offense.
At some point, yeah, you would think. Yeah.
I mean, Caleb Williams is special, don't get me wrong, but he's not beating all 11 on Georgia's defense by himself. It's just not going to happen. So,
I'd like to see that matchup. I think they have a decent shot at it, bro.
I think they'd have a decent shot. They're not going to do it. I mean, and don't take for granted that Georgia Tech played Georgia Tough this weekend because that's a rivalry game. So don't take that with a grain of salt this weekend. Georgia is the number one team. They're the
already
best.
going to get a chance. Going to get a chance. Is Utah going to beat USC again?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
It's a matchup nightmare, bro. They run the ball. They're very physical.
I appreciate that.
They can play a little bit of defense.
Hey, that's fine. That's cute and dandy. But Caleb Williams is going to be that dude on Saturday night. He's going to win the Heisman. He's going to solidify it. He is. I mean, I just got to be real here, Corey. I'm taking USC. What's the spread on this game? -3? Oh, yeah, all day. Give me that one. I'm laying it.
You're so confident, man.
Easy.
You're so confident.
Easy. They're not going to lose. That's twice. You're giving Lincoln. Now, I hate stinking Lincoln, Tebow, everything underneath the sun. But you're giving him 2 opportunities to be able to go up against this team. You don't think he's going to make the adjustments necessary to win this one?
I don't know what adjustments he has to make other than get a better defense. They put up 42 points.
That's what I'm saying.
People are forgetting it took Utah to drive the field on the last possession.
That's what I'm saying.
And then instead of going for the tie, they went for 2 and got the 2-point conversion. So it wasn't like they just housed them or blew them the doors off of USC.
Well, that tight end that they have, though, he's a matchup nightmare for anybody. Kincaid, that dude's a beast. I mean, let's just call it what it is. He's the second best tight end to the guy Bowers at Georgia. But that dude is a beast. He's going to be making catches on Sundays. I can tell you that right now. So, but give me USC to lay that 3. I think it's going to be something like a 38-31 victory USC. It's kind of what I see this game looking at. I think Utah's definitely going to put up a fight. I don't see it being easy, but -3, give me USC.
All right, I'll take the Utes. I'd say they're going to win 43-37.
You almost have to, though. I mean, it's a given. You can't pick USC.
Yeah, well, they're my preseason pick. Yeah, they're my preseason.
So you're stuck to it. You know what I'm saying? That's what you have to go with. So we'll roll on from there. This next one that I want to talk about, TCU and Kansas State, man. This is a sneaky game. If I'm TCU, I'm scared to the ever-living death of Kansas State right now. Just because I go back to it again. This is the second time around. That first game that they played, if I'm not mistaken, let me go back and take a look. 38-28. Couple things go a different way in that game. Kansas State's a victorious one. They're the ones probably we're talking as like a one-loss team. You know, Kansas State is a very tough football team. Deuce Vaughn back there, I mean,
he's healthy again.
We're sitting at 2.5 on this one, Corey. That's the spread.
Yeah,
I mean, yeesh. Well, I'm going to let
It's
you
gonna be
kind of
tight.
talk about. Go ahead, talk about. Give me your thoughts on this one, then we'll go back to our picks.
I love the fact you brought up it's hard to beat a team twice. Usually the team that lost the first time has a lot more motivation. And so here's what you have to remember. K-State was up 28-10 with their third string quarterback, who's not our first stringer right now because of that game, but they're up 28-10 in TCU in prime time at night, just giving them the business. And then things kind of fell out from the bottom of it. So here's where I'm at. Deuce Vaughn, to me, one of the best running backs in the Big 12. I love what they have at quarterback, the Thompson kid. He can sling it. They got playmakers. The tight end, Kurt Warner's son. They got a couple of receivers that can actually run possession quality routes.
Yes.
They're not going to take the top off of you, right? But they run a really good route tree. Knowles. Yep.
Yes. That dude, I know all about him.
I think Malik's his name, right?
Malik Knowles. Yeah, I know all about that dude. Go right ahead, though.
So I'm taking Kansas State to pull this upset. I think they win. Yeah, I think they win 38-35, something like that. I think it's a 3-point game, and I think TCU's luck of playing these close games and winning them at the end, I think that comes to an end.
Ooh, I like that pick. Man, I've been back and forth on this one, to be completely honest with you, Corey. I mean, TCU's 9-1 against the spread. 9-1. They got -2.5 on this one. They're the undefeated team, but Kansas State's going to come in there with that chip on their shoulder and that ain't got nothing to lose mentality.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Ooh, because, hey, TCU has a pretty dang good running back on the other side. That dude has put up an absolute stat. He's got 16 touchdowns on the season. 16.
Yeah. There's going to be, Laura, the points, this scoreboard is going to be lit up. I'm going to be lit up.
I'm going to ask this again. I've asked it all year. Where did this Max Duggan come from? What happened?
I don't know, man.
You want to talk about a dude that was absolute trash? I mean, let's just, all due respect, you know what I'm saying? Dude was absolute trash. And he's come out this year, and he might get a trip and an invite to New York, Corey. He might.
It'll be a great story. You know why? This dude lost a starting job. He lost a QB competition in training camp. So he wasn't even supposed to be the starter this year. Morris gets hurt. He comes in. They go on a little streak, and by the time Morris is healthy, I think the week before the Oklahoma State game, or that week he got healthy, they said, no, we're riding with Duggan. Look where it's gotten him, bro.
Got to. Yeah. I'm rolling with TCU on this one, man. I can't pick against them. I think that they're going to pull this victory off. It's not an upset. They're going to pull this victory off, and they're going to solidify themselves as a college football playoff committee. I want to see somebody else from the Big 12 go get a taste of this, man. I really do. I just want y'all to go see it. But I think if TCU can draw at Michigan in the first round, I might pick a TCU to beat a Michigan in that first round, Corey. Ooh. I might do that. But I might be crazy if I do that too, though, because Michigan looked mighty good against The Ohio State University. And we're going to talk about Michigan here in just a second. That's the next game I wanted to go over. You got anything else on this one?
Nope.
Okay, man. This Big Ten championship game, this is honestly the divisions and conferences. It's terrible.
Need to go.
Let's be honest. It's crap.
It's stupid.
I would want to see a Michigan-Ohio State rematch.
I'd want to see a Michigan-Penn State rematch or something else. Good grief.
Well, you could do that. Anything
but Purdue.
This is crap. I mean, you can just write this one up. Michigan solidified their spot in the college football playoff, barring any kind of crazy upset here. I don't see it happening though. Honestly, if I were Michigan, I'd rest my running back. I would literally not play him this game. I would not. Because you don't need him to win the Big Ten championship. You need him to win a college football playoff. That's where I would be at if I was Jim Harbaugh. Now, I think if the kid's healthy, he's going to play. But if it were me and I were the head coach, I'd be like, yeah, you go ahead and you take a seat right over here next to me, and you're going to take it easy this week. So
Donovan, the backup Donovan looks very capable of handling all of those duties for the week.
Easy.
Bro, they're 16.5 point favorite in a conference title game. 16.5 points.
It's crap. It's crap if you ask me. That's crap. You know what I'm saying? That's a conference championship game for crying out. It's kind of like, it's just like what the Big 12 used to be back in the day whenever Oklahoma used to go up against Colorado. Like, dude, come on, man. Give us a challenge. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Michigan, I think we're both going to be on the same page here. I think Michigan's going to win, and I think they're going to cover the 16.5, too. I don't think this game's even going to be close.
They're going to cover. And by the way, I told you last week, what did I tell you? Michigan.
You did. No, you were, hey, man, I'm not going to lie, that one caught me off guard. I didn't expect that.
Not for me, man. They just beat them pretty soundly. Not pretty soundly, but about 14 points last year. You don't lose that much.
Michigan was your Big Ten pick, man. Kudos.
It was.
Kudos, man. Kudos. I'll give you that one as far as that goes. Is there anything else you want to touch on this one? I mean, this is pretty much.
No, that's an easy one, bro. We both got them blowing them out. Yeah, we can move on from this.
Wrap it up. The next one I wanted to touch on is the SEC championship game. Before this last week, when LSU
I was going to pick LSU. I was going to pick LSU. You lost to A&M. A&M can't beat nobody.
They laid an egg, man. They laid an egg. What happened? I'm gonna let you go ahead. Give me your take. I want to know what in the hell happened, Corey.
It's nothing else other than three things: arrogance, number one. Okay, number two, definitely overlooking your opponent.
Yep.
And it's human nature, dog. Because if you really look at what happened to the A&M before they played this game. Look at what A&M was before this game. I'm pulling up their schedule. It was trash.
They were trash.
It was absolute assery, whatever you want to call it.
And you want to talk about a team that has more 5-stars on it. I mean, they had the best recruiting class in history last offseason. Now, granted, those guys were all freshmen, but dude, come on, man.
That was going to be my next point. I think some of that talent actually showed up that Jimbo's been recruiting. That was my third point. Bro, here's A&M. They're 5-7. They're not playing in the bowl.
No, they're
not playing in a bowl game. They just lost to Auburn, who fired their coach. They lost to Florida, okay, who's having a down year. They lost to South Carolina, Ole Miss, Alabama, all in a row. They beat UMass 20-3. Okay? LSU's a number 5 team in the country, and you're telling me this is what you're going to come out and do, a 38-23 loss? Before this week, I was definitely going to pick them against Georgia. I thought they had a great chance. I don't know if this wakes them up or does anything that gives them a shot against Georgia, but I'm definitely off that train now. I don't even need to see the spread or whatever the spread is for this game. I'll take Georgia and the points. I think they'll cover.
17.5. Easy, man. Easy,
and them just beat them 38-23. Come on, bro. Wow. LSU ought to be ashamed of themselves, and it's almost making me think what they did this year is kind of fugazi. I don't know.
I just hate to say I told you so. Georgia's got freaking.
They're about to mollywop them. If that's what you're going to do against A&M, you're about to get mollywhopped against Georgia, brother.
Georgia's winning the whole thing, man. Georgia's going to win the whole thing, and they're going to go back-to-back. Kirby Smart is that next dude. He's the next one in line. I'm telling you. Georgia's just – and I'm a Sooner fan. Sooner born, Sooner bred. When I die, I'll be Sooner dead. But them Georgia Bulldogs, man, oh, my Lord.
Well, they got something cooking.
I'm not ready for the SEC.
Don't get scared now.
No, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. No, I'm not scared. I'm just we got some work to do before we get. I hope it's not till 2025. They need to stop trying to push that crap early. They need to chill.
No, they want y'all. They want it
Get
now.
you some recruit. No, they don't want it now. No, I'm gonna tell you right now, they don't want it now.
So you got Georgia covering? You got Georgia covering this game too?
Easy, Corey. Easy. Georgia is going to win this game with ease. They were going to win this game even if LSU would have beaten Texas A&M. That wasn't making no difference.
Right.
The only thing that
I see
did
that
different,
now. Yeah.
I'm telling you, Georgia is that team. Stetson Bennett been here. They're kind of doing that Golden State Warriors mentality. It's a regular season, man. Now we getting into postseason play. Now it's time to turn it up. That's what they're about to do. Georgia just been coasting this whole year, man. Just saying. They've been number one. So they're the number one team for a reason. That's where I'm at with it. You got anything else on it before we hop into this ACC title game?
No, that's it.
All right, man. This ACC title game is kind of, you got the number 9 and the number 23 team, but I think these are like the most untalked about number 9 and 23 teams I can ever remember in college football.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. What have we really heard from North Carolina this year? You turn SportsCenter on, I'm not hearing them talk about North Carolina. They're not talking about Clemson either. Really, the ACC as a whole has been complete other. They're the new Pac-12 this year.
It's been a dud. It's been a dud of a year for them.
It really has. It really has. You got Clemson in this game at -7.5. I'm kind of like swinging over here towards North Carolina on this one, though, Corey. I think North Carolina is going to win the ACC championship. Clemson just looks like a dud this year. And, shout out to Brent Venables because that defense of Clemson hadn't looked right this year. Just saying. I know Brent Venables has went 6-6. He's probably not the highest coaching candidate, right? You know what I'm saying? All that. But I'm telling you, give him some time to get his recruits. But I've definitely known a difference out of Clemson since he left there. I can tell you that right now. They do not look like the same Clemson team they have in the past.
Nope.
But what's your take on this game?
I completely agree. I was going to pick North Carolina before, so I had them in mind as well. That's what North Carolina coming off back-to-back losses. They've lost to Georgia Tech 2 weeks ago, 21-17, and they just took an L to NC State in double overtime with NC State's like third or fourth string quarterback. So that gives me pause for concern if you're picking, like we both are picking the Tar Heels.
Right.
But even with that said, man, nothing about Clemson impresses me this year.
Nothing.
Other than the running back, I like Shipley. He's a good player. But outside of that, it's just not the same offense. You're right about the defense. The absence of Venables hurts them immensely.
Yeah.
Plus, they don't have the same horses. So I think Venables, this is going to be a tough year for Brent had he stayed at Clemson. It wouldn't have gotten this bad. It wouldn't have gotten this bad, I don't think. But it is what it is.
They still had some talent on that defense, though. Let's just be real.
Yeah, they still got some, but they're just not getting coached the same way.
They're not. But, hey, don't sleep on that quarterback from North Carolina, though. I will say that Drake May guy, he's a freshman. That dude's a ball. That dude's a baller. He can ball. He's a freshman. And he's 6'4", 220 pounds. He's a good-sized kid. So, I'm just saying that whenever I looked at that and I seen his stats, I'll be honest, I haven't watched the North Carolina game all season long. I haven't. I've seen what Clemson is, and give me a kid that's got 3,800 yards, 35 passing touchdowns, and only 5 interceptions. Yeah,
give me rushing too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got like over 600 rushing yards, and I think another 6 touchdowns in rushing. So it's like, go ahead, give me that kid any day of the week. He's a baller.
I'll take him.
He's a gamer. Also, I like Mac Brown over there on that sideline now that he's not wearing that burnt orange color. I think if you think about it, Texas hadn't been nothing since they fired Mac Brown. They shouldn't have did that. They probably should have kept Mac Brown in Texas. You know what I'm saying?
They pushed him out the door early. That was kind of stupid.
For Charlie Strong, my guy.
I know.
Come on.
I remember that.
That was absolute dog trash. They've been nothing since then. So, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so we both got Carolina.
Yeah.
What are you about
absolutely.
to say about Texas? Go ahead.
Texas, all them Texas fans, man, they just think that they were so excited about that 49-0 victory, but yet they're still 8-4. You guys are excited about an 8-4 season. Yes, we went.
They're ranked 20th right now in the
cute.
CFP.
That's cute. They're riding off of that 20-19 loss from Bama, man. That was the highlight of their season. It really was. You know what I'm saying? So
It really was, yeah.
I'm done with it. I'm done with it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I look, 8-4 and ranked 20th is better than what they've been doing. You know what I mean?
So, what I wanted to ask you before we hopped up off of here, what do you got it? Who's your top 4 after Championship Saturday? I mean, if everything goes status quo, you got Utah beating USC, and you got K-State beating TCU.
Yes.
So you got a couple of upsets there. You're going to make the committee work for it. Who's your 4? Who you putting in?
I'm going Georgia, number 1, Michigan, number 2, number 3 will be Ohio State.
Whoa.
I think we're going to get a rematch of that game. And then number 4, I think TCU will get in over Alabama. So I think you're going to see Georgia versus TCU in the first round and Michigan versus Ohio State. I think USC takes that L to Utah like I already picked. I think TCU, even with their one loss in the conference championship, will stay at number 4. They'll drop down to number 4. So there you go. I think they leave Bama out. I don't think there's a path for Bama to get in. I don't see it.
I don't either, and I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. That works for me. You know what I'm saying? Even though Georgia is kind of still right there, Georgia to me I don't hate them as much as I do Alabama. Alabama's just, oh my God, I'm sick of them, man. I'm just, go away.
They're not going away, brother.
I know they're not.
Sorry.
I know. I'm very
They're going to be here for a while. Nick Saban's there to 2030, brother.
He's gonna be 80 years. He's gonna be 80 years old out there with a walker, still calling the game, man. Just winning, just with like 20 national championships at that time. You know what I'm saying? Just wow, bro. Dude. I got Georgia at 1, of course. I mean, I'm pretty much status quo. Georgia 1, Michigan 2, TCU 3, USC 4.
You picked all of the top 4 to win.
I want to see USC against Georgia. I want to see that. I want to see it. I do. I think that's good television right there. Caleb Williams versus that Georgia defense. You know, with Kirby Smart going up against Lincoln Riley again. We all remember the 2017 Rose Bowl. I mean, you know, so
yeah.
I'm not going for USC though. I'm not. I just can't.
Are you sure?
No. I like Caleb Williams though. I have no hate or no ill will towards Caleb Williams. I like him. He's a very fun player to watch. Whenever I watch like any of the Caleb Williams stuff, I just like whenever I see Lincoln Riley on the sideline, I just look the other way. I don't.
So let me ask you this. What if USC messes around, dog, and beats Georgia? Are you going to lose your mind if they mess around and play in a national championship?
No, because we have
in his first year.
Because Caleb Williams is that dude. Caleb Williams is that dude, man. He is that dude. I think he is going to be better than the Baker Mayfield, the Kyler Murray, the Jalen Hurts. I think Caleb Williams is going to be that dude. I really do. I mean, they're already calling him the next Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh.
I mean, come on.
Ooh.
Come on. That's what I'm saying. They're already giving him that. So
that's around.
He's proven it, though, man. I mean, he's done that this year. I hate USC. I don't hate USC. I hate Lincoln Riley.
You hate Lincoln Riley.
I hate Lincoln Riley. I cannot stand the guy. I think he's an absolute snake. But you can't look at this game like if we're being realistic people like what we are on this show, Corey, you can't look at what USC has done and just poo-poo on it. I mean, they've looked impressive. They've looked impressive.
It's the best they've looked. It's the best they've looked since they let go of Pete Carroll.
So
Let's
there
just
it is.
be 100% honest.
So there it is. Is Lincoln Riley going to do what Pete Carroll did there?
And win a couple natties?
Part of me hopes not. That's just because then that just solidifies what he was saying and everything else that all the OU fans got upset about. You know what I mean? It's just he said he couldn't win at Oklahoma. He couldn't recruit to Oklahoma. I mean, he basically just trashed the University of Oklahoma on his way out the door.
He said those things?
He absolutely did. Absolutely.
No. And what publication? And like interviews?
Twitter is crazy, man. You can find so much stuff. Yeah, with interviews. There's interviews that they do with those USC pro makers, like, and everything. You know, like the boosters and all that. I'm telling you, dude, they'll say whatever. If Lincoln would have stayed, what's OU's record this year? I don't even think it's Lincoln if Caleb would have stayed. Really, I do. I believe that. Caleb Williams with Brent Venables and Jeff Lebby calling the plays. Caleb Williams as opposed to Dylan Gabriel. I think that Oklahoma's right there where USC's at right now.
Even with y'all not being able to stop a nosebleed like the first three conference games?
USC couldn't stop a nosebleed for the first few conference games. Who you telling? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just saying. They would have figured having a playmaker like that, though, Corey, is different whenever you're a defense, you're going out there, as opposed to you got Dylan Gabriel over here overthrowing guys by 10 yards. I mean, come on, man. Yeah. That's just, there's levels to this. Minus Dylan Gabriel, addition Caleb Williams, we would be 11-1, 12-0, talking about a playoff berth for the Oklahoma Sooners right now. But he left. You don't think so? You really don't think so? Okay.
No, I think so. I think y'all are in that 10-2, 12-0 range for sure. That's why I asked the question.
Absolutely.
I just want to see you get fired up about it. I want to see what you would say.
I can't lie, man. I mean, the dude's talented. Caleb Williams is a freaking stud, man. I love watching him. I love watching him play, even though he doesn't play for Oklahoma no more. I really do. I'm just being real. I'm not a hater. And there
I don't think y'all have the max exodus you have if Lincoln stays, though. I don't think all of those guys hit the transfer portal.
No.
I don't think you have a whole new damn team like you had this year if he stays.
It's all right, though. And Brent Venables, I trust. It will all be for the better. It will. We have. I have no damn choice, Corey, but to trust the process. Okay, I don't have a choice. Lincoln's gone. He's at USC, about to go to the playoff. I mean, my gosh, I'm just. I can tell inside is burning you up, dog. I can tell inside is burning you up. Oh, I'm
because that could be y'all right now. That could be y'all right now if he stays. That's in my honest opinion. If Lincoln Riley is still at OU, you guys are at least 11-1, like you said. You're in the playoff conversation. Caleb Williams is still there. He's probably going to win the Heisman. You guys might have gave up some yards on defense, but you're still going to be a top 4 team if Lincoln Riley would have stayed at OU. That's all I'm saying. Take it for what it's worth, though. You guys got Brent, though. You got rid of the snake. He was going to snake you sooner or later. The snake's gone.
I'm surprised he didn't go to the Cowboys. I'm surprised he didn't go to the Cowboys when the Cowboys were knocking. I'm surprised.
I think he likes college better. I think it's easier for him.
Well,
and USC gave him a deal. USC gave him a deal, bro. That's damn near. You can't turn that down.
Oh no!
They bought his homes in Oklahoma and then bought 2 new ones for him in California.
And a jet.
And they gave the man a jet to use whenever the hell he wants, work related or not.
Why not?
This man can just fly wherever the freak he wants.
Hey, I want to go down to the beach over there on the East Coast. I want to go to New York City. Let's go to
Bahamas. Let's go to
right, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Oklahoma just didn't have them kind of pockets, man. They just didn't. They don't. They just don't. It is what it is. But we'll see. Is it going to justify itself, Corey? Is it going to justify itself? I don't.
We'll find out Friday night is the game. That's the first conference game. They win Friday night against Utah. It will have definitely have justified itself for USC. USC hadn't been close to sniffing the playoff. They hadn't been close to doing anything this good since Pete Carroll. Let's just be honest.
No, Clay.
They had that 1 year with Sam Darnold. Okay, so they lost 3 games that year.
Two. I thought it was just two.
Yeah, but they weren't in like national championship consideration. USC's once you get into the top 4, you're in national championship consideration. Right? Yeah.
We've been number 4 before and got beat 63-28 though. So
you were one of the last 4 teams standing out of 100 and something.
Okay, that's fair. Touche. Nobody said it. I love that you just said that there because nobody else put it that way. Everybody always wants to dog crap on OU because we couldn't win the big games.
No, bro. People beg to be in that position.
I know. I hear
it's just that y'all haven't really cashed in on it. That's what we made fun of y'all for. Y'all just hadn't cashed in. You had so many opportunities and y'all just couldn't cash in.
I can count like 6 or 7 of them right now. Just,
It still doesn't make what y'all did in that time period impressive. It still doesn't take away from that.
This season has been pretty easy for your boy, though. I haven't gotten my heart broke this year.
You knew from the beginning it was going to be
I knew it was going to be all bad. Yeah.
After the TCU game.
No, really, it was the Kent State game when we only scored 7 points in the first half. That was the game where I started going, what's going on here? What's happening? We'll see, man. It'll be interesting. It's going to be a great weekend of college football, though. I mean, it's football right now, Corey, in November, December. I mean, we're going to have NFL getting into playoff contention into December. You got college football with their champions. I love football this time of year. This is the absolute best time. And then after that, right before they play the bowl games and everything else, and football and the NFL starts on, you start getting a little bit Christmas NBA. We're going to be here to talk about all of that for you guys.
Yes.
So, is there anything else you wanted to touch on tonight that we missed?
Nope, that was a good show, man. I think we got a lot covered.
I think so as well. Well, guys, if you guys are still here with us, we want you guys to drop down in the comments. Our question for the week is, who's y'all's top 4? Do you think it's just going to stay status quo here, everybody wins and we move on? Or do you think that there's going to be absolute chaos? Let us know down there in the comment boxes. Also, if you guys are still here and you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ding that notification bell, and go ahead and give us a thumbs up if you guys like the content that y'all are seeing. So, as always, the house divided. My boy, B Hill. My boy Corey over here. Peace out, guys. We'll see y'all later.